Hi everyone, hope you're all well. Welcome to My Way Tarot. This is going to be a general love reading for the sign of Scorpio for the third week of October 2021. This can resonate with your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus sign. So please check out the other available videos on the channel so you get a fuller, more rounded picture of what potentially could be happening for yourself or for your love interest during that week. But obviously these are kind of timeless readings, so it's whenever you kind of come across the reading, it's when it's most likely going to resonate. If the reading resonates or parts of the message resonate, then that's awesome. If it doesn't resonate, then it's simply not your message. So kind of take what you feel fits and leave the rest. So as I've already said, I could be reading for yourself or for your love interest, that one that's on your mind. So kind of flip the roles however you best see fit with the situation, but please do not make the story fit. Okay, so I am available on TikTok. If you are interested, I have an account over there called My Way Tarot 444, and I use the same profile picture that I have for this YouTube channel. But just as a PSA, please be careful. There are other people out there trying to impersonate me with my account, etc. and or looking like it's me. Sorry, I didn't mean to pop the camera there. Just be careful, because I will obviously not contact you if you would like a private personal reading via WhatsApp, etc. So just be careful out there, guys, alright? So let's get into the reading. The Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus sign. Let's see what's going on for you guys. Okay. Oh, wow. Ten of Pentacles reverse. Wanted to show itself straight away. So either you or your love interest could be closing out a very difficult cycle to do with a home situation or a family. As of right now, potentially either you or your love interest may have lost a job or particular financial stability, and they're trying to close the cycle out. But let's get into the reading, okay? Scorpio. Seven of Wands in reverse. Wheel of Fortune, look at that. Beautiful. Star in reverse. So you could be dealing with a Leo, a Taurus, Aquarius. Obviously there's Scorpio energy here as well with the Wheel of Fortune, which is you guys. What else, please? The third week of October for Scorpio. Oh. The Hermit in reverse, so Virgo energy. Knight of Wands upright. And one more for Virgo. Oh, I said Virgo, didn't I? With Scorpio, so you definitely could be dealing with a Virgo. Five of Wands in reverse. Three of Pentacles upright, I'll take that. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So we have more fire energy, a lot of that here, and earth energy predominantly, with the Aquarius energy and obviously the other fixed signs I've already mentioned with this Wheel of Fortune, okay? So either you or your love interest, I'm definitely feeling there's going to be some major breakthrough coming through, as we saw the Ten of Pentacles in reverse and now we see the Wheel of Fortune, that things will eventually move on forward. Someone, either you or your love interest, are trying to let go of a particular situation here, and we got that with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe someone felt emotionally let down in a particular love situation, could be potentially relating to a third party here with the Three of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Three of Wands here next in reverse, and the Emperor with the Ten of Swords. So what I'm getting here, you could be dealing with an Aries, or you have that strongly in your chart. What I'm getting is that someone feels incredibly restricted, potentially in a third party situation, and they're trying to gain their power back because they've been incredibly let down by this difficult situation that they've been in. Obviously flip the roles and take however this best resonates for either you or your person. What I'm also getting is that someone's definitely closing out a cycle in their life here with the Ten of Swords. Someone has gone through major heartbreak, a majorly difficult time. They're getting the realization that in order to step more into their power and take responsibility of their life, they're having to close a particular situation and say goodbye to it. Do you know what? It's crazy because I feel like I'm out of breath. So someone, I feel like I've just done like a long run, and I finished the run, and you know when you're like knackered at the end of it, I feel like someone's just trying to get their breath back. Someone's trying to get their breath back so that they can calm things down and then eventually come forward. What I'm also getting is that if there has been a third party situation to do with a karmic of sorts, a karmic partner, there's been a lot of emotional manipulation. Potentially there may have been multiple karmic partners with the double kings here, King of Cups and the King of Wands in reverse. Somebody who was playing mind games, someone very manipulative, a bit flaky, kind of in and out of your life, someone who isn't very loyal, someone who may have been codependent. There may have been a codependent relationship, partnership, potentially someone who may have been burning the candle at both ends, if you know what I mean, working too much and then partying too much, especially here with the King of Wands in reverse and the King of Cups. Somebody who liked to kind of get out and about, not really interested in commitment. Somebody who is potentially, who may have shown interest to you previously, but then didn't necessarily make any moves. And I feel like either you or your love interest have had to drop a particular situation because you weren't getting very much out of it, or your person wasn't getting very much out of it, and just decided to leave. You know, feeling a little bit out of your depth, or your person did, here with the Knight of Swords in reverse, and feeling regretful that potentially there's been some sort of solid investment made for a commitment, but then it may not necessarily have worked out. Or someone feels regretful that a commitment didn't go their way, that they invested a lot of time and energy and effort into something and it didn't necessarily work out, even though it's the recognition that there most likely was a soulmate, a strong soulmate connection, potentially a past life connection. Here we have the Queen of Cups, and then we saw the King of Cups earlier. It's like having that recognition of knowing that this person, you and them are most likely on the same wavelength, or you could have been. It's like thinking of what could have been, and then realizing that it was just unstable and one-sidedness, and it didn't necessarily work out. And potentially there was a lot of frustration to do with the connection. I'm also getting that somebody may have been fearful that there was unrequited love, and therefore feeling relatively insecure that you guys didn't see eye to eye at one point. But somebody's definitely trying to take their power back, regardless of whether that's you or whether that's your person. Somebody's basically wanting to close out something that's been incredibly heartbreaking, very difficult, and they may have given up on a situation. What I'm also getting is that there could be other suitors potentially coming into your life who may come in for a bit of fun, potentially. A short time, but not for a very long time, that kind of thing. Somebody that if you wanted something that wasn't necessarily serious, potentially you could be having new love coming in for you in divine timing, or relatively soon, I'm getting. And you'll kind of meet each other, obviously by chance. You may not necessarily know of this person, or you may know of them like through friend of a friend, but you are free potentially to be single and mingle, and there could be new love coming in for you. And potentially if you didn't necessarily want anything serious with this new person, then obviously there's no judgment here. So you do what you like, really. But when this person comes in, you're not going to believe your luck, because they're going to be very attractive. They're going to be, really fit, really good looking, that type of thing. They're going to be very confident, but they like to have their independence. So unless you are very independent yourself, they won't want a codependent relationship, or potentially they may not even necessarily want a relationship, but they may just want to come in for a bit of fun, to date, that type of thing. But what I'm also getting, if you are dealing with a past person, if they're dealing with a third party, they're needing to let go of that particular situation. They're needing to let go of it. Potentially they may feel like they haven't got their love life in control, or even just in their life in general. And that's what they're having, this realization that they have to let go of a certain situation or a certain person potentially that they're dealing with. But they're needing to look at their own behaviors, their own choices about what it is that they're making, and see if they can have more discernment about trusting themselves, because potentially they may not necessarily be in the right place as of right now. They could be dealing with someone else, if they are dealing with a third party who's trying to make things right with them. They could have had endless arguments, a lot of frustrations, a lot of pettiness, what have you. And maybe if they're dealing with a third party, they're getting to the point where, okay, well, if I can try and keep this together, try and keep this working, the other person may be trying to keep hold of their particular relationship and say, well, how about we work on it, see if we can grow something, you know, things will be different this time. And potentially there's no real hope with that coming back to life here with the star in reverse. It's unlikely. There is going to be one of the partners, most likely your partner, if they're dealing with a third party, who's just going to say to them, no, I've kind of given up on the idea and I need my space, and I need to have my space. Not feeling entirely connected to their person. And potentially your person may have even felt lonely in this particular relationship. And they're getting to the point where they're realizing that in order to have growth in their life, they have to eventually move on and gain their confidence back so that they can have a breakthrough and move forward, you know, effortlessly. And things turn around in their favor. But what I'm also getting is that potentially they may be a little bit fearful of coming forward towards you, because you may have your guards up and they want you to let your guards down. Potentially you may have been very fixated on this particular person coming back around for quite some time, and potentially have been in fear of some sort of rejection, or maybe they had rejected you previously, so you've decided potentially to move on forward and feel like, well, whatever is meant for me is meant for me. If this past person comes back around and says, look, I want to, you know, rekindle something and I want to work on it, and, you know, I'll let go of the emotional baggage that I've got and I'll come back properly and, you know, be more open with their heart and everything else, then potentially something could really work between the two of you. But then there's something else that doesn't necessarily feel like it's ready as of yet to go forward between the two of you, especially if there's like a third party involved. So what I feel kind of called to do now is to actually clarify these majors on the table. And look at that. Someone has been incredibly heartbroken. I've been saying that earlier, to do with a long-term situation. Maybe somebody could be dealing with a Cancer. Look at this, they've been heartbroken, battered and bruised. Here with the Death card, this is you. Scorpio energy, Libra energy. Here with the Justice. Sometimes pulling from the bottom of the deck is just as important. And what I'm getting from this is, we saw the Ten of Pentacles come out earlier and it came out reversed. That something was closing up, something that didn't necessarily work, and there was a lot of heartbreak. Well, the Ten of Pentacles is now here upright, but what I'm getting with this kind of Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands with the Scorpio energy here with the Death card, that someone is going through a major separation and they're leaving a long-term financial home situation type thing. And that if they were in a third party and they invested in this other connection, potentially I'm getting this, like, they've been sold a dream, thinking that everything was going to work and it was going to be, you know, all perfect with the white picket fence and, you know, the lovely house and everything else. But it didn't turn out that way. And someone has been, I'm getting very much deep in regret from investing in a particular situation, feeling relatively alienated and maybe even trapped in a home they didn't necessarily want to be. I mean, you know, we've all gone through a lot, obviously, in the past, you know, year and a half, 2 years, where people have been in lockdown and kind of stuck in their houses. And this has been an incredibly, you know, challenging time for everyone, especially if you are with a partner where you can't really be with them for too long. Like, you can tolerate being around them for so much, and then obviously it gets to the point where, you know, enough is enough, and then you start to see the little kind of cracks in the armour as to what's going on in a particular relationship, and the light has been shone on the things that needed to be fixed, and it triggers. So therefore this person may have gone a very long time with being with this other person, and they're realising that they have to detach. They've been very withdrawn from that relationship, maybe a little bit aloof from them. Potentially they've been wanting a lot of alone time. As like I was saying earlier, this person, if they've been dealing with a third party, have just been saying to them, look, I really need you to give me my space. I need you to give me the time that I need, and just to kind of let me be, let me alone. This person feels exhausted, and they're wanting to end this other relationship here with the Death card and bring justice to a situation. What I'm also getting is that this person's hoping that eventually everything is going to go in their favour, and that things will work out, and there'll be a major rebirth and transformation, and that eventually everything will kind of fix itself and work out. Could have been dealing with a third party where they've lost trust in this person, potentially here with the Queen of Wands energy and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. As I was saying to you again earlier about the light has been shone on a situation, and look at that, I can't make it up. The light has been shone on a situation for what it is, and for it to be a relatively toxic situation. Either that could be specifically dealing with a Leo or a Capricorn. There could have been the realization that somebody wasn't putting the effort in, somebody wasn't willing to put the effort in, wasn't wanting to put the work in, and it just all felt like too much like hard work. Potentially either you or your person may have had the realization that it was an unhealthy relationship, and they realized that it just took too much to maintain that particular connection. So therefore they're trying to end it, they're trying to close it out because it's not healthy here with this Devil card. There may have been a lot of manipulation here at play, potentially. Yeah, and this is the other message I'm getting through, is I was saying about that third party. If your person's dealing with a third party, they may want to come forward and be like, try to turn things around and find common ground, but there's still a lack of transparency. There's a lack of transparency about whether this person's intentions are actually genuinely pure or whether they're not pure. And it may have been keeping your person in confusion for quite some time, feeling very much trapped in their head. Or are they actually genuinely want to fix things? Or are they just causing me chaos? Do they genuinely want to invest? But your person will eventually find out that there isn't really anything much more moving forward. Wow, so that's quite a lot that came through there. Let's start clarifying these majors. I know the reading's gone on quite long, but so forgive us on that. But look, broke up the deck and the World card. So whatever is meant to be let go of is going to be let go of. So a brand new cycle could come in, and then everything will feel like it's happening at the right place at the right time. So why is the Wheel of Fortune here? Actually, first I'm going to clarify. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here for Scorpio, please? This person, if they're dealing with a third party, are discerning that because they've gone through such a difficult time with this other relationship or situationship with this person, they're deciding, do I stay in this? and try to see if we can improve it, if we can work on something and find common ground? Or do we just completely break up and go our own separate ways? And what I'm getting is that your person is most likely going to break up and go their separate way from this other person. But potentially you could also be in the same like headspace as well. You may be feeling like, well, because this other person hasn't sorted their stuff out, or it hasn't happened the way as quickly as potentially you may have wanted it to, so then therefore you may feel like, okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of leave this situation for what it is as of right now, and potentially go forward and not take life so seriously, and potentially have a new love come in that may just be something for, you know, go out on a few dates and have a bit of fun, but then potentially it could lead to something more, but it might not necessarily either. It could just be something like a, God, I'm getting that word stopgap. It may just be a stopgap. But let's look into this. Let's look into this Wheel of Fortune. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here for Scorpio? And things are definitely going to turn around. But what I'm getting is that this commitment to this other person, your person, if they're dealing with someone else, or you're dealing with this person, obviously both of you, the commitment is tested. There's going to be a lot of temptation coming through. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here, please? Temperance, look at that. How beautiful. Sagittarius energy. So potentially things are going to work out and you may have a reconciliation, but there's a bit of instability as of right now. So you may, if you're dealing with a divine counterpart, if you're dealing with a high-level soulmate or someone you feel like you have a past life connection with, or even a twin flame, etc., you may just decide to stay retreated from this person as of right now, because like you will have a reunion, but it's not just happening in this week. It's like a postponed reunion. It's not to say that it won't happen, but it's just kind of potentially later on. What else can we get with this Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, look at that. So a third party situation of potentially any unrequited love or in and out behaviour with this other person, that's coming to a close. Because it's the realisation that someone wasn't necessarily getting their wish fulfillment here with the Nine of Cups in reverse. Someone feeling a bit bored, feeling a bit frustrated. Potentially either you or your person. I'm getting strongly your person, if they were in a long term and they're dealing with a third party, they may have liked to party a lot. I'm getting really overindulge and drink a lot, you know, that kind of thing, that real party lifestyle. And I'm getting this sense that that is all coming to an end. Someone's kind of coming round to their senses and realizes that they want something that's a lot more balanced. Potentially they may feel like they don't just align necessarily with that lifestyle anymore, and someone's realizing that they have to kind of break it up. They have to break up this third party thing. What I'm also getting is that, I know this sounds a little bit vulgar, but if there's been a situation where your third party, your person, had a third party in a long term, but if they didn't have a long term and they just had potentially multiple partners, I'm getting this sense that there may have been a lot of indulgence with a lot of different partners, if you kind of get what I'm saying. And it wouldn't have been very healthy. Like there's like a lot of risky behaviour, potentially one night stands, that type of thing. Someone may have been very thoughtless to their feelings, kind of just didn't pay any mind. They were kind of like, you know, here for a good time and didn't really think of potentially the consequences of stuff. Yeah, look at that, very unreliable. Wow, look at that with the Page of Wands in reverse. Very much potentially someone who was just kind of a bit of a charmer, kind of here today, gone tomorrow. Not really relationship material. Potentially, you know, when somebody comes in and, you know, they come in and say that they want you and then they drop you. They may have even got somebody pregnant here with the Empress energy. I'm getting that. Maybe someone's had to... I'm getting someone potentially may have had to go through an abortion. Yeah, look at that here with the Sun in reverse. That's like the pregnancy. That's a pregnancy card, the same as the Empress. So maybe there was someone who got pregnant and then they realised that they need to go for an abortion. And they feel regretful for their actions. And they may feel like, okay, now things definitely need to change. That's a very specific message that could be for someone. What else here for the Wheel of Fortune? I'll take one more, please. That's too many. Yeah, I feel like I was on the same page, on the same wavelength. Oh my gosh, look at that. The Emperor and the Empress with the King of Swords and the Sun. Maybe a secret's been revealed, that someone's been very passionate. Potentially something's definitely being revealed here along those lines. Maybe someone realised that they couldn't indulge in that particular behaviour anymore, and they've realised that if they actually want to have an opportunity with their person, with their partner, Emperor and Empress together, and manifest something together, then this other situation, these karmic partners or what have you, had to be cut off like pronto, because otherwise the secret's going to be the cat's out the bag here with the Moon in reverse. Something's going to be revealed, and potentially there may have been a lot of passionate relationships, or supposedly lust-based relationships, that if somebody wants to have a passionate new beginning with something, you know, long-term and standing, then potentially they had to close off something out, because there would be no hope for something to be fixed unless somebody was going to drop their particular types of behaviour. Yeah, look at that, broke up the deck, and we have the Empress here with the Six of Wands. So potentially you could be resonating here with this Empress energy, and you may just decide to move on to calmer waters because it was all too much, and then you could have somebody else very passionate coming in for you, because your person may have been dealing with multiple third-party situations, or if they were in a long term and then their long-term person that they were with was indulging in multiple partners, or they both did together and that was like a open arrangement potentially. Or maybe it was an arrangement, or maybe they kind of just they didn't know about each other's behaviours. You know, it's that kind of behind closed doors thing. What's the Star here in reverse? This is interesting. What's the Star in reverse? Star in reverse for Scorpio. Okay, we have the King of Cups in reverse. Somebody's been juggling their feelings, or juggling other people, playing manipulation, kind of mind games, with people's emotions. Somebody's definitely been burning the candle at both ends here with the King of Cups in reverse. And unless somebody stops that particular behaviour, then things are definitely not going to be able to move on forward. Potentially either you or your person could have been seeing the red flags but potentially ignoring them, and then feeling relatively stuck, but someone's getting a brand new perspective on a situation. What else here with Star in reverse? Yeah, look at this. We have the Hierophant in reverse with the Taurus energy. An unwanted commitment. There's definitely a relationship of sorts here that potentially seemed very practical. It seemed practical, but emotional needs weren't necessarily fit. I feel like either you or your person, most likely your person or their person who they were dealing with, was most likely seeking stimulation elsewhere, especially if they were potentially in a commitment or seemed to be in a proper commitment. They were definitely looking for it elsewhere, and potentially either you or your person what have you, decided to abandon a particular connection, had the realization that their heart was no longer in a situation. Maybe they potentially ghosted you, and so therefore so they made their choice. It's like they made their bed and now they've got to lie in it until they can fix it, until they sort themselves out, because you may have set very firm boundaries with them because they were unreliable. And then by doing that, you have found your own sense of self-worth and having victory and success, moving yourself forward here. And now they potentially will want to come back. So what else for this Hermit in reverse? What we got here for Scorpio? Yeah, the Devil in reverse. So could be dealing with a Capricorn. Somebody is incredibly unreliable here with the Page of Wands. Somebody's had this realization that they needed to be distant from that person, that partner, and kind of break free from a toxic relationship or a cycle because it necessarily wasn't working out here. It's like someone may have been deluding themselves slightly by staying in a particular relationship that's obviously gone past its sell-by date, but they're too miserable or depressed to do anything about it. You know, when they just kind of stay in something predominantly for like duty and obligation. They're just there for a particular reasons. Like I was saying earlier, that most likely there could have been a lot of practical reasons as to why a relationship was staying together. And there was lack of movement moving forward, potentially in a relationship or a connection of sorts. What else here for the Hermit in reverse with the Devil in reverse? Yeah, look at that. And we were just saying that about the Eight of Wands in reverse, and there it is. So someone's definitely been putting their firm boundaries. Maybe either you or your person, someone's been getting some sort of advice about putting someone else out in the cold to go after their own emotional fulfillment. And that to not move a relationship forward anymore because the investment may not necessarily have been there, and work on own self-healing, getting that here with the Queen of Cups, and potentially feeling like recovering from old wounds and heartbreak. So what I'm going to pull from the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue and see what additional messages we get. I know this reading has gone on a lot longer than I was expecting it to, but if the messages come through, then that's what I have to do. But someone's maybe going through a separation of sorts. Someone may have even been thrown out of their own house. They've been uprooted and potentially they've had to move out, and there's been some sort of neglect to do with a relationship or situationship of sorts, and someone's deciding to go after potentially new love or to work on their own self-love and their own fulfillment. What can we get here for Scorpio? Ooh. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith that things will eventually turn around, because they will here with the Temperance energy and the Wheel of Fortune. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So yeah, trust. If you're wanting passion to come into your life, things will definitely improve. Like you will be getting that. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership and chemistry. So what I'm getting here with that and playfulness. So yeah, you're definitely going to be getting a lot of chemistry, passion, you know, playfulness. Potentially if you are, you know, investing in a new particular soulmate connection of sorts. You could be dealing with someone who will be wanting to come back around and ask for another chance, but they need to close out something else first, because there is the chemistry between the two of you. But what I'm also getting is that potentially if your person is dealing with a third party, which they most likely are, and they may be dealing with that person saying to them, look, we have this chemistry, you know, we've worked things out before, or we supposedly have worked things out before, we get to carry on being in this kind of, you know, energy of fun and, you know, sleeping around and all that type of stuff. You know, why would you want to move on? Why would you want something else? But they're realising that they have to release the ex. That it's not just all about, you know, shallow relationships and superficial situations, you know. I'll take one more for Scorpio. If there is one more for Scorpio, I'll take it. Reconciliation. A reconciliation, it came out reverse. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And it came here. So what I'm getting is that if you're dealing with someone and they're dealing with a third party, it's like they're wanting to reconcile and patch things up and say, look, we can build on things together, we can work on it, we'll put the work in, we'll build on a solid foundation, what have you, you know, find common ground. But I feel like the intentions aren't necessarily so pure. It's so that they can keep whatever situation that they've got going, but even though it's not necessarily healthy. And your person may decide, look, I don't want to reconcile with you, I don't want to work on things with you, I'm going to drop it, and potentially come forward towards like you, the viewer. Or you may decide not to reconcile with this person because you feel like too much has been going on. Healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So, yeah, interesting. Like, let's pull from the Soulmates in Separation to close off the reading. The Unspoken Love Messages by the Serendipity Tarot. And see what either your love interest would like to say to you or what you would like to say to them. So these are just closing off messages for you all. I'm sorry the reading's gone off a bit longer than I was expecting it to, but I hope this definitely is someone's story. So let's have a look. You just would not understand what I'm going through. Most days I don't even understand. Hurting you was not the plan. I hope you allow me to step up and turn this around. Scorpio. Anything else for Scorpio? Yeah. Nobody is like you. You are exceptional. You are special. Bottom of the deck. I never truly moved on, even though I appear so. If I could turn back time, I would do it all differently. Okay. So anyway, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed the reading. If you did, please like, share and subscribe. Leave us a comment. I greatly appreciate it. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys get an alert as to when I'll post another video for you all. If you are interested in TikTok, then I have an account over there called MyWayTarot444. Okay, guys? So just check us out over there if you're interested in shorter love readings. But anyway, guys, I hope that you have a really good week. And please take care of yourselves. And we'll speak to you again soon. See you later. Bye for now.